Hello, Transformers, Autobots, and Decepticons. Today I'm here to share with you guys my very first playthrough slash walkthrough or archival of sorts for this game. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to get taken down, but honestly, the game is canceled on both Certain Affinity's side of things and Splash Damage's side of things. This game is known as Transformers Reactivate to the masses, but in reality, this game was originally known as Transformers Rise when it was in Certain Affinity's hands. The game started off with Certain Affinity, and then it eventually got passed off to Splash Damage, where they continued development and kind of revamped a lot of things, especially when they jumped to Unreal Engine 5. As you know, this is in Unreal Engine 4. And this game was going to become an Unreal Engine 5 game with Splash Damage as Transformers Reactivate. Now, we all know the history, and for those that don't know, is of course the game has been canceled on both sides, like I said, but at the same time, it is for the purpose for the Transformers gaming fans to be able to somewhat experience what this game was going to be, and you will right off the bat see a lot of the live service elements. But if you as a Transformers fan can see past all of that and see the possibility or the potential through this game, what it could have been, I think you guys would have been treated with something pretty awesome. Whether it was with Certain Affinity or Splash Damage, I think there was something truly golden about this game. And I think there could have been something really, really big about this game. And I really liked the premise, the core storyline, and a lot of that came from Certain Affinity. A lot of those story tropes, those key elements to the storyline, were from Certain Affinity, that apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic storyline, and especially playing off of the comic books and the G1 roots, and then the things that we heard from when it was in Splash Damage's hands, of the things that they brought into the storyline, and the artwork that, with the time of me recording this video, a lot of the artwork and story tropes that Splash Damage was currently making, with like being able to go back to Cybertron, of course, for those that have experienced the High Moon games, like we say going back to Cybertron because those were the Cybertron games back then. But for as a core gaming Transformers fan, we call it going back to Cybertron because Splash Damage was actually making Cybertron in Unreal Engine 5. They were making elements that they were eventually going to allow us to be able to go back to Cybertron, or even if it was just a prelude or just tutorial mission, they were making it, and it would have been really cool regardless. If that artwork gets out in the future, I'd love to be able to share it with you guys. But of course, we're going to be jumping into this without me rambling on for too long, but I'm going to log in as RoboGamer1HD.
My name is Optimus Prime. As leader of the Autobots, it was my responsibility to protect this planet. In this task, I have failed. I allowed our inability to trust the Decepticons to distract and divide us until they arrived. They are Legion, and their attack was as sudden as it was devastating. Our knowledge of these alien creatures remains minimal. Each of their units are composed of millions of nanomachines. Their numbers never recede, as the fall of one eventually gives rise to another. Now, the Autobots and Decepticons have finally put aside our differences, working together with the humans to save what is left of this world. One conclusion is inescapable. Their towering monstrosities are tearing the planet apart. Our battle.
Humanity is on the brink of annihilation. We've been fighting on our own for over 70 years, ever since Legion's planet-wide energy pulse locked the Transformers in stasis. I am Andrea Fairborn, leader of the Renegades. We have risked everything to come here in a last-ditch effort to wake them from their slumber. And if our plan works, Then we can fight. Together, we will take back our planet. Together, we will rise. All right, it's time to shake off some of that rust you've inevitably built up while in stasis lock the past 70 years. We'll start with the basics. Stay aware of your surroundings by looking around, and you won't be able to get far without moving. Your jump boosters have numerous capabilities that expand beyond just a short jump. You can reach higher locations by double jumping, as well as hover for a short period of time. You are also equipped with powered actuators that allow you to dodge incoming enemy attacks. You are also able to use this in mid-air. Your ability to change form gives you a major advantage in mobility over your enemies. Use it to quickly move in and out of battle, and to reach new objective locations while in the field. Don't forget that you have the ability to boost while in your vehicle form. We've managed to get some of the Cybertronian weaponry we found alongside you functional. Just point and fire at Legion you find to take them down. You're able to steady your aim by looking down the sights. Most of your ballistic weaponry needs to go on a short cooldown period after extensive use. Luckily, your loadout allows you to carry an additional weapon you can switch to while waiting for your other to finish its cooldown. You can also get up close and personal with Legion by making use of your melee weapons. You have two types of melee attacks, light and heavy. Melee attacks can be strung together by combining multiple light and heavy attacks. You can also make use of your ability to change form in conjunction with your other combat capabilities to fluidly move across the battlefield. And don't forget your ability to fire when in alternate form. As a giant fighting machine, you are inherently equipped with 3 unique abilities. These are useful to use throughout the mission, but you'll need to keep an eye on their cooldowns to make sure you have a charge. Your vehicle ability is usually good for crowd control. If you're in robot mode when you activate this, then it will change you into alternate mode. You also have a robot ability. Even if you're in alternate mode, this will pop you back out into robot mode. And if you really want to go extreme, you can activate your ultimate ability. That's it. You're ready to go tackle some Legion now. In case you forget any of your operational capabilities, we've compiled them for you to review at any time. Good luck out there.
Welcome everyone to the very first starting menu for Transformers Rise / Reactivate. I'm going to still call it Reactivate because that's what I'm used to calling it, but this is technically Rise, of course, like I mentioned before. So when you first jump into the game after the opening cutscene, you will see what character you will be able to select, and that's out of 3 characters. And from what I've heard from Reactivate, it is the same characters almost, except I do believe Starscream is in place of Shockwave. So Shockwave is a pinnacle point in Reactivate version with splash damage, whereas with Certain Affinity's version of the game, Shockwave is a selectable character, which is kind of interesting because Shockwave seems to have been even a point even during their development where Shockwave was going to be a big bad for Rise version of the game. So it does make me wonder if Shockwave should even be here at all in these 3 selectable characters. But what I do like right off the bat is that they call Bumblebee B127, which is a reference back to his Cybertronian form. But with, of course, you can also select Ratchet, which is pretty cool. And you can also select Shockwave. And I love it, just seeing these animations. This is so clean, like seeing this main menu portion when you're able to select your character. Now, I would love to see this in an MMO. If you guys haven't seen my previous video, if I haven't mentioned it already, go check that out. It is regarding Saber Interactive. But at the same time, I would love to be able to see a menu like this where, like, you, after your opening cutscene, you get to jump in, but instead of a character like this, being able to select a original character, we get to customize our own custom character with a MMO. And just like you would see in Fall of Cybertron and War of Cybertron, you can customize your character to your liking and then jump into the fray of things. I think that would be really cool if a game was made like that, just like this, where you can select your character. You could see a little bit of history from what the game is all about, kind of thing, an opening amazing CGI cutscene or whatever from Digital Domain or whoever is going to make it. But man, even seeing these animations and sound effects when they're just showing up on screen is just a lot of fun. So for the sake of doing things, I'm going to choose Bumblebee. Your first pick to be Bumblebee? Of course I'm going. Welcome to the main menu, guys. I hope you enjoyed that intro. You guys may have already seen that intro through the videos that I have uploaded or through other means, but guys, welcome to the main menu for Transformers Rise / Transformers Reactivate. Now, I won't go into a lot of details, but a lot of things that you may see different from the UE5 version to UE4 is that, of course, this is more simplistic in the UE4 version, and in the UE5 version, it is a lot more open world, and you don't have to access your menu. You can't access your menus right from just tabbing over or anything like that. Whereas in the UE5 version, it's open world and you have to go up to stations in the hangar to be able to access where you need to go or to upgrade things, etc., etc. While that is great, I do enjoy both versions in terms of the way they were designed. I do like the simplicity of this, just being able to tab over and go over to where you need to go. Now, quick note is that the nothing currently tracked should not actually be in the middle of the screen. I accidentally did that when I was fiddling with things, but you will be able to access your zones by just clicking on the node from New York to Chicago, Russia, or Boston, wherever it may be after that, who knows. But just like it shows here, you will see the tab for the New York zone. Enter the zone. Let's do it. And then you've got your first mission right here. Now, to explain things really, really quickly is that originally, Certain Affinity had planned to do a Manhattan zone as your tutorial zone. You may have seen that FTUE, which is simply the beginning tutorial of sorts, just showing the overview of how your character will work, and then you will jump into your actual tutorial or starting opening mission, which is in Manhattan, and of course you'll see Optimus Prime fighting the Legion, etc., etc. And I may show that down the road in the future, but for now, the way this beta works is that you jump right into the very first mission called Back in Action. And to show you guys right off the bat is they really didn't have a story developed. They had a lot of things behind the scenes on how they wanted to develop the story, but it wasn't implemented into the game per se. So I'm just letting you guys know that this may not be what they had behind the scenes per se, but this is a version of the game that was very close to where they were going with things, and this version of the game could have been released in 2020 for everyone to be able to play. So we're going to jump into the mission, and this is very interesting right off the bat, and I'm going to talk about this real quick, is that they actually have artwork and they were developing an actual ground bridge, very similar to the video game Transformers Universe that was canceled, of course. It was going to be an MMO, but turned into a MOBA style PvE, PvP shooter. That game got canceled, of course. It was a web-based game in Unity, and it was based on the show Transformers Prime. Transformers Prime, of course, also had a ground bridge, and that's where Transformers Universe got that all from. But also, this game was also making its own ground bridge, which there are assets for. It just was never implemented into the game. And of course, you see that further in history as time goes on with Transformers Reactivate. So guys, just letting you all know that yes, Transformers Rise was going to have a ground bridge in behind them, like in behind the character, as you see here. When it goes up, and you'll see it in a second, but when it does the countdown, it will show that the door will slowly start to go up, and then the character will go on this turntable in its animation, and then you will go through the ground bridge kind of thing. That was the idea. But later down the road, they were going to have this door and turn and open up, or open up like a two double way door from side to side, left and right. and then you would see the ground bridge room in the background, and it was really, really epic. I will say that. And I can't say more than that, but beyond that, guys, let's jump into the footage for Back in Action.
First order of business in this area is getting the lay of the land. The Legion took out all of Earth's old scanning tech, but Delvin has put together some new recon scanners for us.
All you need to do is place them where I tell you, and keep them safe while they do their initial scan. I've just transmitted coordinates for the first draw point.
Now, welcome, guys. You are now inside of the game, and I just wanted to share with you guys here this first clip of jumping into the game. Now, as you can see in the background, there is Delvin. He is talking. I also apologize for the screen because I have an ultra-wide monitor and I did not set up the settings for this footage. And I also just wanted to throw out footage that I had as older footage, just because I needed to get it out there and just get rid of it. So this is really early on when I was still learning the controls of everything and still learning how to play the game. This is like when I first received the build and being able to play this game, and I really enjoyed being able to play it. It was such an amazing experience. And while I may not be the most experienced player when I first started, I really enjoyed regardless just being able to like go around shooting and learning the mechanics of it all and learning how this game truly played. And it was amazing. And as I said before about the storyline, guys, the storyline, you can definitely tell there's text to speech for when they did not have the voice actors recording those lines, or when they changed something and they didn't have the voice actors to be able to pull them into the studio and have them record lines. So they definitely changed the way the story was being done throughout this version of the game. Like, a lot of things changed, and the way the game played out. But at times, sometimes there will be voice acting for these characters.
That spike must have something to do with the phase wall. Let's see if we can shut it down.
Legion aren't that stupid. You'll need a cipher to run that spike. My guess is you'll need to take it from one of their big guys. Speaking of...
Oh, is that all?
A little nice entertainment before the main event.
Now, one of the big things that you guys will notice right off the bat, which is awesome, is there is actually, despite it being text-to-speech, sometimes there is some comedic moments, and that's what really I enjoyed.
Head back there and see if you can shut down the phase walls.
It's better. How many keys could they possibly need?
Don't jinx this in our action.
Things like this, like there's so many comedic moments throughout playing this game, even like I said with the text-to-speech, and even if it isn't properly voice acted, there's still some things that are in the text-to-speech for the writing, for the audio logs, for when they're doing the radio conversations. Sometimes it's actually funny seeing, even if it is text-to-speech, just listening to some of the audio, the writing for the way they were doing things, and it was sometimes funny listening to these text-to-speech voice lines. And even if it was voice acted, I'm sure it would be just as funny listening to the characters.
Good work. Now let's go get that first scanner placed.
Such impatience. You humans need to learn respect.
Respect isn't exactly your strong point, Starscream.
Touché.
Now, one of the big takeaways from this is really interesting, is that this game had a lot of it was very repetitive, and you'll see that as I play, is there's a lot of repetition, and even as you get further and further, it might become harder to be able to play against some of the enemies, but for the most part they're actually fairly easy. And I think the AI wasn't exactly the greatest in Certain Affinity's version of the game, because they didn't really have things solidified with the enemies, or things were just not fully implemented in this version of the game, and you can definitely tell. But honestly, one of the greatest takeaways from all this is not only the gameplay, but the environments. And I truly loved the environments that they were making in this game. Now, you can see a little bit of reoccurring areas or locations at times, but the environments, and I kind of wish there was more destructibility in places, but you can definitely tell that they had pieces in this game that were destructible, and it was fun to be able to just break light poles or different pieces of environment throughout the area, like trees, while you're going throughout the game. And it would be fun to be able to destroy more being an Autobot or Decepticon, but still, it was enjoyable. And despite these live service elements of this game, I still enjoy sometimes coming back to playing this game, even if it isn't a fully complete game. Sometimes it's enjoyable just to be able to play as the characters, play as a new Transformers video game, even if it wasn't released. And maybe one day this will get released. Maybe this build will get released one day, and I can't say for sure when that will happen. But guys, all I gotta say is that it's really enjoyable just being able to finally be able to showcase this to you guys. I was very leery about the idea of releasing any footage just because of the fact that the game wasn't released, and we don't know what Splash Damage's version of the game looks like. Maybe they did use certain affinities, but you can definitely tell that a lot of stuff was overhauled in the Splash Damage version of Transformers Reactivate. Now, as I mentioned before, I truly enjoy Delvin's voice actor a lot more in the Rise version of the game compared to Splash Damage's Delvin. And whether it's the same voice actor or not, who knows? But it's just, I mean, unless they were trying to make him like extremely nerdy, I feel like he's more of an engineer type of nerd than a literal nerd kind of thing. And he may be a nerd through and through, but at the same time, Delvin seems more like a character that doesn't need that whiny voice. And I feel like in Splash Damage's version of the game with the UE5 footage that was leaked, Delvin's voice actor just does not sound right to me, and I did not enjoy his voice actor whatsoever. No offense to the voice actor whatsoever, but at the same time, I just feel like it didn't fit the character. And I was so much more used to Delvin's voice actor in Rise than I was with the Reactivate version. And I don't know why they decided to change it. I truly feel like they could have stayed with the same voice actors. Unless the voice actor decided to change his voice because of what they were asking at Splash Damage for. But who knows? I truly don't know the backgrounds on all of that, and I hope to one day maybe learn about that. But at the same time, guys, I really enjoyed the voice actors here in Transformers Rise compared to Reactivate. But who knows? Maybe we'll see more voice actors that we would enjoy later down the road if more footage was released. For Rise, for Reactivate, and maybe you guys would have a difference of opinion. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. It's very early on when I was learning things and getting used to the controls. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. For the rest of the footage, I'm gonna let you guys just enjoy the gameplay. Please, all I can say is that please credit me with the footage, because pretty much any Rise gameplay was all from me for the footage. So if you guys are sharing any gameplays anywhere, please just redirect them to here for the for all the footage. And let me know what you guys think about the gameplay elements, and what you guys think about the gameplay overall, and of this first mission for Transformers Rise / Transformers Reactivate. I feel like we were robbed, truly, and that's my stance on everything, is we were truly robbed from a good Transformers video game, and it could have been pretty huge being able to experience the game in our hands, another Transformers video game in a AAA sense. But yeah, until then, guys, hopefully we do get a brand new video game in the near future, and we get to actually experience more of Rise and Reactivate as we go forward. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please stay locked in here for all things Transformers gaming and beyond. And looking forward to seeing you guys in my next video. But until then, guys, thank you again. and I'll see you all in my next video.
So tough now, are ya?
We're about 25%. Hang tight.
Got another one! One more for me!
In the bag. Stands at 90%. That's the last of it. Scan complete.
Well done. That was a spectacular route.
Speaking of spectacular, would anyone like to see a fantastic real-time rendering of New York? The always accurate data dump that is going to flip the script on this war and help us kill people out of this city? Because I've got one right here, thanks to our state-of-the-art scanners. What brilliant, handsome engineer could have designed such a
I heard Ratchet helped you with that.
keyword help?
I'll ask him about that. In the interim, let's extract our valiant recon team.